Hi, Space Room friends, and welcome back. I have a question for you guys. So let's read it together. How do things move? How do things move? So this is the question that we are trying to figure out. So how do things move? I want my friends to think about going to a playground. And on that playground, you might see swings, you might see seesaws, you might see a merry-go-round. So all of these things move, but how? So how do things move? To make something move, we use something called force. Everyone say this word with me, force. F-O-R-C-E, force. And force is the push or pull of an object. This makes things move. This causes motion, which is another word for movement. So making an object move from one place to another. We use force to move objects, and we can move them by pushing or pulling. So when we push something, we are moving it away from us, right? So pushing is when you move something away. Pulling is when you are bringing it closer to you. So push moves it away, pull moves it closer to you. So we are going to explore this a little bit more today. So we are going to be exploring force. Force is the push or pull of an object, and we're also going to be talking about motion, which is just movement of an object, right? So force and motion. So I have a little video for you guys to watch. Hi, Space Room friends. Let's talk about force and motion. Force is when you push or pull an object. For example, bouncing a ball. When you bounce a ball, you are applying a force to it. Motion is changing where an object is located or how it is positioned. For example, riding a bike, kicking a ball, and walking are all examples of motion. Pulling is a force to move something towards you. For example, pulling a wagon. When you are pulling a wagon, you are pulling it towards you. Pushing is a force to move something away from you. For example, pushing a grocery cart. Now I will show you some pictures and you will tell me if it's push or pull. Here is a picture of a boy picking a flower. Is this an example of push or pull? Picking flowers is an example of pull. He is pulling the flower closer to him. Here is a picture of friends pushing a swing. Is this an example of push or pull? Pushing swings is an example of push. You are pushing someone away from you. What about tying your shoes? Is that an example of push or pull? Tying shoes is an example of pull. You are pulling your laces towards you. What about mowing the lawn? Is this an example of push or pull? Mowing a lawn is an example of push. You are pushing the lawnmower away from you. What about monkey bars? Is this an example of push or pull? Monkey bars are an example of pull. You are pulling the bars closer to you. What about pushing a stroller? Is this an example of push or pull? Pushing strollers is an example of push. You're pushing the stroller away from you. What about sweeping? Is sweeping an example of push or pull? Sweeping is an example of both push and pull. What about skiing? Is this an example of push or pull? This is another example of push and pull. You are pushing yourself and pulling yourself at the same time. So force is pushing or pulling an object, and motion is the movement and changing position of an object. Explore some examples of force, motion, push, and pull at home. Have fun, friends. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow.